Hello and welcome to the Declassified Cheatcodes podcast. I'm your host, Josiah.
And I'm Hillhouse.
And we're here to give you some gaming news right before E3.
Before E3, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a busy week this week in news, which is really funny because only the leaks started coming out at the end of the week, but we were getting a bunch of official announcements before E3. Just like, I guess a lot of people are just trying to jump the rest of the crowd and get everyone hyped for their game before there's a cluster of games that everyone just forgets about, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think's going on.
I haven't really played any new games this week. I played one day about a month ago. What is it called? I'm gonna butcher its name. I think. Is it called Tropico? I feel really bad now. Is
Tropico.
it called Tropico?
Yeah, is that where you build up the base and everything?
Yeah, I was gonna say Tropicana, but that's a drink, isn't it?
I believe it is Tropico. Yeah, Tropicana is the drink. Yes, you are correct.
Okay, it was Tropico 5. I think it was like on sale for like $5 or $7 not too long ago, and its humor is ridiculously funny. Every time you do anything, there's a bad pun or a backhanded comment from the people that guide you through it. So for a city builder, it's actually the most entertaining city builder I've played.
Right on.
But I'll let you know more about that game if I really get like addicted to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's for the most part, it's pretty fun right now because it's got a lot of sass.
I've heard about it. I actually was watching a stream the other day. Some people were playing that together on D Live, and I was checking that out. But I don't know if it's something that I would play, but it does look like a lot of fun. I know a lot of people do have fun with it.
Yeah, I get somewhat addicted to tedious games like that, but it's never fun when they're so hard that you have to keep restarting your save file.
Oh, yeah.
So far, there's only been a couple times where I've been broke, but I'm still able to get out of it. Because there was another game that was in Game Pass not too long ago. I think it was called City Skylines. And that game's hard. I had it on the easiest difficulty, and I kept going broke within hours of playing. I ended up looking up YouTube videos on like how to actually start the game properly, and then I still wasn't doing it right. It's like ridiculously nerdy as far as city builders go, that game.
The Tropico is?
No. City Skylines.
Oh, City Skylines. I saw somebody playing that the other day too. I thought that was kind of cool.
It's head and heels harder than Tropico.
Oh, really?
It's like nerve-wracking bad.
Oh, damn. It's one of them kind of games, huh?
Yeah. You already played anything new this week?
No, I actually haven't. With my training for my new job, I haven't had time to play anything new. I've just been sticking to the regular games that I've been playing. Digging a little bit more into American Fugitive. I want to do some streaming on that and maybe some more commentary down the road. I think it's something that people would have fun at. It is a newer game, but it's kind of old school. Like I said before, it reminds me of GTA 5. So I think, or GTA, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it. I think that's something that you would actually like too, because I understand you were into the GTA games. But yeah, I'm still playing that and playing a lot of Paladins. But I am looking at some of the new free games coming out. There's a couple of other games that I'm thinking about trying as far as free and indie. But yeah, I'm not even going to mention them until I start playing them.
Ooh. Yeah, I've been liking. I just like indie titles because they seem so much more unfiltered by like bureaucrats. Like they take more risks, and they're less polished, but they seem to always thrive in their more somber, quieter, slower moments. Like all that stuff doesn't feel like you're getting shoved a corporate manufactured game, you know.
Exactly.
All those things are the best parts of the indie games.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let's just get started with some of the bullet point news, a little short.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
Okay. Well, one of the things that just came out, something that I'm actually very excited about. A lot of people bought the new Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And for Blackout, there was a new zombie mode in it. It's supposed to be a battle royale, mostly that. There was no story behind it at all. And they touted this huge map that had all the old places that you went to in Call of Duty in the past. Well, it wasn't so good. That may be just my opinion. I know there's other people that probably do like Call of Duty 4. But it was not for me. But they are coming out with a new Call of Duty Modern Warfare. They're doing away with all the futuristic crap. It's gonna be
Which one was that? Was that Modern Warfare 5 or 4?
Like Infinite Warfare or something.
Infinite Warfare. Well, that's right. It wasn't even a modern one.
It was really stupid, yeah. And even in Black Ops, they do the same thing. They use this stuff that, if it is real, then the government doesn't tell us about it. They just use the shit and kill people, because there's no way we would have all that kind of crap. But
they should come out with Call of Duty Drone Warfare, where it's just a bunch of drones
and some guys
you never
holding
actually
Xbox
see anything.
controllers.
No one's life is ever in danger, so it's the most realistic game ever made.
You use your controller to control the controller in your avatar's hands.
There's a screen within the screen. Like the whole time you're playing, you're seeing the person you're playing sitting in front of a computer screen.
Exactly.
With an Xbox controller.
Exactly. So that's what I'm seeing. But, the nice thing about this game, the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, is you don't have to worry about zombies, because there is no zombie mode. That gonna piss some people off, probably, but I think it's gonna be good. Also, forget all the World War II and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with that, nothing to do with future weapons, nothing to do with some timeline or anything like that. It's going back to the most loved part of the game. It's basically a reboot of what happened in 2007.
So it's neither retro or futuristic?
Well, they're going to use the high-tech gear that you're using today. The stuff that our guys have out there right now is what they're using. So it's actual military gear that we are using in our own, military and world military, whatever. It's actual stuff that they're using right now. So it's not fake. And it's not going to be...
Should have been called Present Warfare?
It could be Present Warfare. But if you want to be picky about it, but
well, it is modern. That's the thing, is it was modern, which is kind of trying to say that it is modern equipment and technology that we have today.
Well, if you want to be technical, I mean, if what you're looking for is Call of Duty futuristic warfare. And that's not what we're going to be playing. We're going to be playing Modern Warfare, which talks about today. Okay, Josiah? It talks about today.
But didn't the Modern Warfares get ahead of their time? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Going into the
that's
future?
What they did in the past. And so what they're doing now is they're actually using the stuff that we use today. So, yeah. So that's what they're going to stick to.
I'll settle down.
You're good, man. But basically, a lot of people, from what I'm reading in a lot of the forums and everything, they're expecting this to actually help the Call of Duty franchise to pick back up after its last travesty. And this is the 16th Call of Duty game. So,
good Lord.
Yeah. You're going to be able to play it on PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC. I'm hoping with this whole crossplay thing that the multiplayer part is going to be crossplay. I'm hoping that is going to be something that they get into. All these gaming companies just need to jump on that bandwagon. It will be out on October 25th. It was announced right before E3, so yeah, it's already out there. They even went ahead and leaked out a trailer, it's a pretty cool trailer, man. It actually pumps you up to want to play the game again. And it was released about, what is today, the 8th? So yeah, about 8 days ago it was released, the trailer. It looks really, really cool. I've watched it about 10 times, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's not exactly a reboot, but it's it gets back down to the basics, is what it is, of what
I think that's
modern
what
warfare used to
people
be, Call of
liked
Duty used to be.
about World War II. A lot of people said that was getting back to the basics, but then people just complained that it just didn't have a big enough campaign, you know?
Yeah, and I think you're gonna see, if you watch the trailer, they talk about old comrades. There's a team of old comrades, and that kind of stuck with me. I'm I'm looking forward to see if a lot of the old characters are in there. You know, it should be a lot of fun.
I think the last Call of Duty I heavily played was World at War, so it's been a while for me to actually get into one heavily.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's
it's
PS3, I think, was when I played it.
yeah. There, one of the things that's happening in the game too is there is going to be some pushback, some controversy on it, because they are using
Females?
no.
Okay, go on.
They are using some realistic based terrorist attacks in the game. There are children involved in some of these attacks. There is very heavy realistic destruction, not just of property, but of people. So it's extremely violent. But the only thing that I can say about that is, you know, war is violent, man. I mean, yes, it's supposed to be a game, but we keep screaming as fans for more realism, more depth, you know, draw us into it even more, make us believe that we're there. And so I think, you know, that's what these guys are doing. They're using a whole new gaming engine for it. It's going to be way improved graphics. And from what I've seen so far, I think it's going to blow everybody's mind. I really do. I was excited about Black Ops 4, but I'm actually pissing my pants, bouncing around like a little girl over this one because of the fact that they are going back to the basics, man, of what it should have been. I was excited for what they were going to do with Call of Duty Black Ops 4, but they ruined it. It didn't turn out the way it was supposed to.
See, that's the thing is, you know that they're not making. They release a Call of Duty every year, but you know that these games are in development for more than a year, or at least you hope they are.
Yeah.
So if this is a change of pace, or if this is a return to form, then they were thinking that before Black Ops 4 came out. You get what I'm saying? So either they were already doing steps in the right direction. Let's say the game is perfectly in the right direction when it releases. Then they were already trying to take that direction, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be an entirely, see, what's nice about this is it's an entirely new story, different timeline. It has nothing to do with what they did with this other game. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's separate from the previous games too. So it's going to be really cool. You're going to see some old faces, some familiar faces and characters in the game, but it's going to be new. And I think that that's what a lot of Call of Duty fans are screaming for. And that's what they wanted with Black Ops 4. And Black Ops 4 was fun, but it didn't feel new. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like a new Black Ops. So, yeah.
Yeah. And the real bottom line is they only, like, let's say that Activision wanted to release a war game that was really realistic, was such a great game that it brought in new players and it grew a fan base. And so it was all about making a great game. They wouldn't have to call it Call of Duty. The thing is that name holds so much.
Yes, it does.
As far as selling off of shelves, that Activision won't do that.
Yeah.
So as much as it tries to stay whole and pure to the original thought or the spirit behind the game, at the end of the day, Activision needs a yearly Call of Duty game because it's their version of EA's FIFA, you know.
I agree.
It is Activision's big game. And that's the trouble is it's like do you know when it's releasing? It's got to be like November or what?
The Call of Duty when it's releasing? October 25th.
Yeah, it's Christmas season, just like last one was Christmas season.
Yeah, and I plan on buying it way ahead of time, like like I've got money to burn. like a moron.
Yeah.
I plan
I mean,
on.
that's not too bad.
I did, but see, that's the thing, and I will not say the price on the podcast of what I did for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 because I am married and I will wind up in the woods in a hole somewhere. But I spent a lot of money. It was very stupid because I was that excited about them fixing the problems, but to me, they didn't fix the problems. I played it and I was like, whatever. But
there's a mortgage you're never gonna see again.
Exactly. But this is going to be so much better, man. It's going to be so much better. It's just I'm extremely excited about it. Yeah.
I'm just concerned about the series as a whole. I hope it does make a good turn back, but that there's the people. I'm not saying I'm one of them. I probably am one of them, but there are people that just have a stigma against Call of Duty now.
Oh yeah,
because of the name.
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree.
And they just are done with rehash stuff. But the thing is, Activision really needs Call of Duty now since they lost Bungie and Destiny.
Yes, yes, they do.
So they're basically putting all of their chips on it.
But if they do the right thing, with this this spin-off or this whatever it is called, this expansion.
Yeah. It's kind of a reboot of the Modern Warfare franchise.
It's a reboot, but it's not a reboot. I keep wanting to say reboot, but it's really not. It feels like they're going back to the basics, but it's a new game. It looks new. And I want to say that, I hope to God they're not going back to this, to just putting a fresh face on an old thing, because that's kind of how it felt. What they did with Black Ops 4 is that it just felt like they jumped on the battle royale wagon. They used a bunch of their old stuff, spread it out on the big map like peanut butter, and called it a day. That's really what it felt like, and I'm hoping that that's not that, because I'll be honest with you, if they do that this time and people buy this game, Call of Duty, that franchise is probably going to be done, dude. It's not going to be as popular as it was because they're going to piss off their final fans, and they're not going to get the welcome that they thought they would. People may buy it, but nobody will play it.
That's the thing, though. Call of Duty is so big, and it's such a big name, and it's so synonymous with shooters that they don't make most of their money off of 20 to 50-year-olds, Yeah. They make all their money off of 9-year-olds.
Yeah, the little kids that have heard about
pays
it.
their bills. Yeah, because that's your coming of age is buying a Call of Duty game,
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that.
So, I mean, I don't know how many games would have to flop. And I don't think any of them have flopped. I think they've just done worse than they expected or not as well as they expected. I mean, it would have to be, I would say there would have to be 4 Call of Duty titles in a row that all met not only under expectations, but actually lost money,
Yeah, and I don't think they've lost any money in the last 4, but I think that the last 4 have been well below the expectations of the fans.
Right, and the only thing that's hurting is shareholders. All that is really being hurt is their yearly profits, And
one of the things that really kind of ticks me off about that whole subject, and we can go on to we can deal with that. We can actually talk about this in another show if you want, with gaming companies doing this. But one of the things that really ticks me off about that is the fact that they do know that Call of Duty, the name is, synonymous with first-person shooters. That people have always, a ton of people have played Call of Duty. We've played it, we've left it, we've come back, we've left it, we've come back. We always come back. And the reason why is because I think as fans, and I'm generalizing here, and maybe I'm probably not speaking for everybody, but for myself, I want them to be better the next time. So I have faith that they're going to be better. And one of the things that really pisses me off about that is that I think that they milk that they live off of that faith that we have that their game is going to be better. And if they know it's not, they're like, meh, whatever. We still got your money. We still got your $60. And it really bothers me because we keep doing it. It's like an abusive relationship. We keep going back, man.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Call of Duty as a franchise has avoided one thing. It's never been like Bethesda or something where a game has been really, really, really bad. At worst, Call of Duty's been considered mediocre. People either go, this game's great, or this game, it's all right.
You're right.
They're never like, oh my gosh, that is the worst game I've ever played.
It was not a Fallout 76. Yeah, it was
I've
not.
never heard of someone say Call of Duty game was the worst thing they've ever played.
No,
and it's kind of like Call of Duty's like the Fast and Furious of video games. It's like, I feel like people will always go back to it because it's go big or go home with Call of Duty. It's always a really expensive game. It's going to look great. They hardly ever have real bad bugs in them. Like, they're really polished compared to Battlefield. They're impressive visual feats.
Call of Duty did have some bad bugs at the beginning. There was a lot of server issues right at the beginning because
a blackout?
Yeah, and they talked about, though, because they bragged at how there wasn't going to be that problem.
Well, that just makes people look for it then, though.
Yeah, I suppose. But there were also, there were a lot of glitches with shots that shouldn't have been made, things just, stupid things that you would think that they would be like, okay, we've got these developers, our developers play the game. Pretty much everybody at Activision plays the game for us and tests it out. Plus we have the beta that's out there. So to me, it's just like, okay, if you're going to go big or go home, you have to have all that shit taken care of, man. I mean, I know it sounds picky, but if you want to be a $1 billion game, man, you got to come out in a $1 billion way. That's all there is to it. You have to come out kicking ass. And I don't think that they did that. And then I think that they kind of petered off and it ended up being it flattened out. And that was it. Because Call of Duty should just go up, man. It should just be like, you know what? Yeah, it apexed and we came back down the other side of that mountain. But you know what? Damn it, I'm going to climb it again because it was fun.
Right.
That's how it should be. And I'm hoping that somebody in Activision hears this podcast and they say, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. That's what our fans do want. We want a good freaking game, dude. Give us a good game and I will love you guys again. I will come back to you.
I'm talking to you, one of our 10 listeners.
I'm talking to you. Who's the guy at Activision? Never mind.
I don't know. There's probably a Bob there, though.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, look. Fix the game, buddy. All right? Make this one good. I will buy it. And you know what, Bob? I'll send you a Christmas card.
Yeah, we'll probably get it first because he's probably the mail guy.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, I am excited about it. And I think this is a chance for Activision to do what they do best. Don't follow what everybody else is doing with the Battle Royales. Don't do any of that. Do what you do with Call of Duty.
But the thing you were saying about them hyping up the game to not have any bugs on launch or anything or any server issues. That's what makes statements like the head of Bethesda not the head of Bethesda. He was the designer of Fallout 76. He recently in an interview was jokingly saying that they didn't intend on the game to launch without any bugs and they thought they could just assess everything after the game released. And he said it really nonchalantly, like that's what everybody does. And that's what's so scary about statements like that, is then you'll get things like Blackout where it's rough on launch and it kind of destroys the whole future of the game,
I agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And
but at the same time, Fortnite didn't get hurt by that. I remember I played Fortnite really early. I forget what season it was, and I had so much trouble getting in a game because their servers were so bad back then. I don't remember if it was season 1 or 2. But they're on top,
Yeah, but they didn't brag.
But yeah, they were an underdog at one point, and then
they were a game that were like, you know what? Hey, we're just going to throw this out there. It's free to play. Let's see what'll happen. And dude, they blew up. Free to play is the way to go anyway, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that's just, all games need to do that.
Yeah, truth be told, that's probably the thing that actually hurt Blackout the most is that Call of Duty's name was attached. That type of high expectation to join in a genre is just it
Yes.
kind of is destined to make people look at it in a bad light, you know.
They should have just called it Blackout. They should have just called it Blackout. Use the Black Ops symbol, but call it Blackout. That's
right,
it.
but it released in October, and they had to get those Christmas sales. That's the thing about Activision.
But
they
here's
can't
the thing,
release
though.
something.
But if you would have had the visual of Call of Duty on the cover, but just called it Blackout, you know what I mean? People are going to have it in their head anyway. I mean, there's a way they could have done it. We're talking marketing schemes right now.
Actually, yeah, we are talking marketing, and that's fine because there's a big difference between Call of Duty and Tom Clancy. Call of Duty has multiple different lines, but they're all Call of Duty, and they're all just the same. But Tom Clancy has all these different lines that are completely different. You get what I'm saying? Like Tom Clancy can say Tom Clancy's whatever, and you're like, I wonder what that's about. Call of Duty says Call of Duty River Rush, and you're like, okay, so it's Call of Duty in a boat? Like, you don't, like, it doesn't take much imagination if it says Call of Duty and then anything under it. But, like, Tom Clancy, whatever they're doing, has enough variation that you don't just say, oh, it's this time period. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they could have done that where it said Call of Duty really small or Call of Duty Presents, and then it says Blackout really big. They could have done that, but the thing is, Call of Duty's never done that, so it wouldn't have mattered how small they made the name. People would have been like, oh, it's just a Call of Duty game. Oh, well.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, I really do.
I'm glad you're excited
you make a
about
good
it,
point, though.
I'm not hating
No,
on you
no,
for that.
I don't think you are at all. And, I mean, we're not going to be the Hannity and Combs of a podcast. You know what I mean?
I'm saying that
it's
right.
But
I'm
I
saying
agree
that,
with you. I mean, you've actually changed my point of view on a couple of things. So
you can't keep letting me do that.
but no, I mean, if you have a good argument, then I'm going to say, okay, a lot of times, if I'm researching something, and I'll admit this on the podcast, I, may not agree with it. And I kind of feel like I know where you're going to go. So I'm going to play the devil's advocate and I'm going to pick a fight with you. And that's what I do. And it works though, because you speak your mind and you're able to convince me sometimes. Sometimes you don't. I'll admit it, but you do. You convince me sometimes on
don't challenge me.
But I think it's fun, and it's going to give everybody a different perspective on everything, I think, because we're giving them a little bit of both sides. I mean, there's times when, I'm staunch about how I feel about it, but you and I do still agree with what I said on certain issues, but on some of it, yeah, I can see your point.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're excited about it.
I really am, man.
I'm just saying that all I'm trying to say is that there's probably this huge demographic that is still just going to not even, they'll hear that there's a new Call of Duty game and they'll completely check out and totally forget that it was even announced.
I will,
and then it'll be out and they won't even know that there was a new game, even though someone specifically told them like 2 weeks ago.
I will say this, and I will offer this so that you never have to hear me be piss my pants excited again. That if Call of Duty Modern Warfare comes out and I play it, and it takes a colossal, curled up, steaming crap on my desktop.
Are you going to take a literal
then
one?
I will write a little jaunty tune called I'm Sorry I Ever Played Call of Duty Again.
Now I'm hoping it's really bad.
I know you are. And I'll do it on the podcast.
Let's move on.
So anyway, let's move on.
There's a lot of news we got to get through
Yes, we do.
today. A bunch of little short things. There's not been much announced about it. There's a new Dragon Quest mobile game. So a lot of Dragon Quest fans are probably excited about this. It's called Dragon Quest Walk. It's basically Pokemon Go, but with Dragon Quest. Wow. So there's some little differences about it. But historically, something to point out, since the mobile game seems to be doing this, Dragon Quest has always been in Japan much longer before it comes to America. So the mobile game right now is just going to be released in Japan, but then the question is it going to be like a year before it comes to America? Because most of the Dragon Quest titles do the same
I,
thing.
I doubt
Almost
it'll
a
take that
Dragon
long.
Age.
I doubt it will because of the fact that if these guys are making something that's anything like the Pokemon Go game, they're gonna test it in Japan, they're gonna see it blow up, and they're gonna release it in America, and they're gonna make their money.
Yeah, and then mobile games in America is where everyone makes their money
Yes.
anyway.
Yeah.
So there's probably no way they were thinking of designing a Dragon Quest mobile game without thinking of America. But
Yeah. I agree.
yeah,
They
it
need
looks
to.
exciting.
I think they'll
probably
pop
will
it off.
download it. It looks pretty good, actually.
I think it'll be released fairly quickly here. I don't think it'll take long at all. Maybe
I didn't
maybe
actually
6
look up
months
it.
max.
Yeah, I didn't actually look up any dates on it. The ad I saw acted like it was about to release either in a week or by the time this airs already released.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool. Another random piece of news. This one's really funny. Cuphead, the game that was originally only on Xbox and PC, that got then ported to Switch, is now being ported to Tesla cars.
What?
So they're making a port of it that in certain Tesla models on the touchscreen, it will not be a touchscreen game, but you can plug in a wired USB controller into the USB port on the car, and you can play Cuphead on the screen in your Tesla car.
So your kids could be playing Cuphead while you're driving down the road.
It will not allow you actually since it's on the front screen between the console, it will not allow you to play it while you're driving. So it's when you're parked in traffic, you can play Cuphead and get frustrated.
That is freaking awesome.
But the thing
That
is,
would
it's
be
a
cool.
port. It's not like free with your expensive Tesla. So you're going to buy this expensive Tesla that's, I don't even know what Teslas cost because I've
dude.
never considered
Way
being
too
in that
much
ballpark.
money.
Anyway, you buy that car and then you come home and you're like, oh man, I got to put in my credit card information so I can buy a $20 port of Cuphead. But yeah, random information. That's not much to say about that.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's kind of a surprise story. That's something I'm definitely going to be keeping track
I didn't
of.
expect to hear about it. It was like really random. I think it was one of the last pieces of news I actually heard before making the list of news for this podcast. I was like, I kind of have to mention this. It's so just randomly ridiculous. But it's just so dumb. But the thing is, there's games. What's the game? I have to say that I'm surprised it's not Skyrim, the game that has been ported on every fucking console. But Skyrim's probably next. They're probably going to get Skyrim on a Tesla. Next piece of news. This is kind of scary for people who are scared about digital games and whether you'll be able to keep them and stuff. Well, with the whole Telltale debacle when they went under, I don't know all the legalness around it, but the short story is the Minecraft story mode video games, which are the Telltale version of Minecraft, which is really odd that they ever did it. But anyway, they will be disappearing off of digital stores on June 25th.
Really?
Yeah, kind of like the Scott Pilgrim game that if you didn't... I think Scott Pilgrim, the game, when they pulled it out of the stores, if you already owned it, you could still download it. But then there's games like the demo for PT where if you didn't have it downloaded on your hard drive, you could not re-download it. So there are things where it's can you re-download it or can you just not purchase it? So they haven't confirmed which one it is, but basically they're advising people to download the game if they want to keep it.
Okay. So they haven't confirmed it. They're just saying, hey, but you want to download it before June 25th if you want to keep it. So yeah, they're selling a lot of other stuff that they didn't mean to sell right now is what they're doing.
Right. And the thing is, I think it was over
at the
Twitter.
bright side.
Yeah. I think it was over Twitter. It was just like one of the developers was like knowing which day was coming down. So they were trying to do a service to fans of those games to be like, to not lose them forever, go download them, And the thing is, someone was saying, well, like, at least that game was released physically. You could go out and get a physical copy. But with the way games are made these days, I'm not sure if a physical copy would even do it, because a lot of discs that I've gotten, they primarily just boot up the game, because I always feel like I end up downloading the whole game anyway. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't see. I'm starting to not see the purpose of having a disc, but at the same time, I'm one of those people that likes to.
Right. This story is
I like-
supporting your angle.
Yeah,
Because if it's just digital, there's no way of keeping it.
exactly. Yeah, there has to be. They have to come up with a way to have some sort of a safe or something, a storage, something that's locked up where you have a code to that specific item that is locked up in like your cloud or your game cloud or something, or your game locker, something that you can put the serial number to that specific game at, so that you can, if you do lose it, you can download it again. You don't have to worry about that. You know, they have to come up with some way of doing that, so that customers and consumers, so that they feel safer. Because if they don't feel safe, there's going to be a lot of hemming and hawing about doing a lot of digital downloads, especially when they have their first big screw up, because it's going to happen. Everything has a mess up. It doesn't matter what it is. So there, one day something's going to crash and everybody's going to lose all their damn games. I shouldn't laugh, but it would really suck.
It's funny you say that. This week, Google's servers crashed for I forget how long.
That's right.
No one could access YouTube, Google Chrome, Google. And it also took down like Vimeo and Amazon and everything that was using, not Amazon, I'm sorry. Amazon has their own servers. There's another store. There's a big store. What was it? I forget. But a bunch of other websites that were piggybacking off of
eBay.
Google's. Maybe. I think it was eBay. Everything like went down, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you think about it,
it makes you happy world, that not everything is on
safe.
one server, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, there is that is the flip side to it right now, but God almighty, they need to figure it out. Because,
and the thing is, if Google had their way, Google would want everything to be on their servers.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely what they want. They don't want competition in that field.
Yep.
And their only competition is Amazon and Microsoft.
Well, I think I think you're actually kind of hitting on where it's going to go here in the future, where these major companies like Amazon and Google, even let's say Blizzard, because Blizzard is kind of doing their own gaming thing, Activision perhaps, or whoever they may be affiliated with, their 100% major conglomerate part of it, the biggest head of it or whatever, that these guys are going to have their own servers. And I think that's going to be the competition with these guys in the digital age, is that whose servers are the best, who is going to make sure that your information is protected on their servers, who's unhackable, who's not going to break down, who's not going to keep you from logging in. So I think that's where it's going to go. I think that we're going to see the server wars is what's coming next, of who has the most power, who can control your information, and you don't have to worry about it as a consumer.
Yeah, because right now it's primarily Amazon and Google. And Microsoft is about to be a powerhouse third, maybe second,
Yeah.
And they're really trying to get their whole thing off the ground. And then randomly, freaking Walmart came in and announced that they wanted to get game streaming. So I don't know. They're going to have to use one of those other competitors. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they
This was a couple of weeks ago. They
have a lot of money behind them, man.
Someone found out that Walmart had posted a bunch of job listings for game streaming coders and stuff. So,
Yep.
So I guess maybe it's going to be alongside Voodoo. Maybe Voodoo's going to have movies, and there's going to be a game streaming section. I don't know.
Well, see, that's how Walmart's probably going to be able to do it, is they're going to buy one of those companies that is doing good but not able to sustain itself. I hate that word.
Yeah, and I think Walmart sees that their electronics department is quickly going to turn into a digital store.
Oh, yeah.
Besides things you can tangibly hold. I think they already see that there's not going to be physical games or music or DVDs.
Yeah, you don't need to go there to get it. The only thing you're going to be going there for, your electronics department is going to be about a third of the size that it is now, because you're not going to have to shop for games or music or any of that. Like you said, you're going to be buying TVs,
Cameras,
probably won't be buying
accessories.
radios, but you'll be buying computerized stuff and televisions and the accessories that go along with both of those. That'll be about it. It'll be tablets, PCs, and laptops and TVs. That's it. There
Buying
won't be anything.
your transistors and your
Your transistor radios,
oof.
your hand cranked CBs with your.
But yeah,
crystal-
anyway, this all came from Minecraft. But yeah, anyway,
Yes,
Minecraft is no
Minecraft.
longer going to be available after June 25th. Not Minecraft,
Damn you,
not the whole
Minecraft.
game.
Story
Just the
mode.
story mode that was licensed temporarily out to Telltale, which I don't know who
Yep.
owns Telltale's subsidiaries now,
I'm not
like
sure.
their IP.
I'm not sure.
The thing is, WB owned them, and then once they had the success with Walking Dead, WB went out and just rented a bunch of licenses from other companies. So, I mean, they already didn't really own much IP besides their software, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't have an original title. Everything was based on something else. So, that's another problem with that company. Anyway, you probably heard about this. Next piece of news. You probably heard about this already earlier in this week just because it was such a ridiculous headline. I saw it on Facebook before I saw it anywhere, but there's a new Pokemon accessory that they announced at the Pokemon Expo, and it's called Pokemon Sleep. And there's not much that we know about it. The little teaser they ran just showed someone sleeping with the little Pokeball by the nightstand. And that's about it. So all we can really speculate is that it's a accelerometer and it just detects how well you're sleeping, and kind of like a Fitbit does, but I guess not on your body. It's kind of weird. I heard somebody was talking about how does it know which one's you in bed? Like, what if your partner's constantly getting up? Would it like fuck up your save game or something? But we don't even know what it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It could make your Pokemon level up. You could give them XP. It could make eggs hatch, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe there could be a side effect in the game, because this is all leading up to the next big Pokemon game coming out. There could be a side effect, maybe, which I actually like this idea that it's a reward and punishment. That if you have the Pokemon sleep, I'm hoping it gives you really good rewards so that you buy the product, but it gives you like really bad negative effects to your in-game character if you didn't get a good night's sleep, you know? So it'll keep your kids from staying up all night playing the game, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, I gotta get to bed by 9, Mom. Gotta get a good night's sleep, otherwise my Pikachu's gonna die.
Yeah. I gotta catch them all.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really dumb, but on the surface,
No, it doesn't actually. It sounds actually they may be onto something. I mean, you never know. I wouldn't mind keeping tabs on that story because I'm sorry, but what you said at the end is actually kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, I mean, anything to like the whole Pokemon Go thing was about making people go out and be active.
Exactly,
And,
and this may be
get out of the house
a
and
way
stuff.
this may be a way to get kids to quit burning so much time
Right.
on games and
Actually
whatnot
getting
to actually
sleep.
get a good night's sleep. Yeah, I mean, because as old
I mean,
people, we understand how important that
the
is.
evil way to look at it is Pokemon just wants to know where you are at all times. We want GPS on you when you're walking around, and we want to know exactly how you're sleeping.
Yes, Pokemon spelled backwards is government.
Then there's Pokemon Eat, where it wants you to log what you're eating so that you're on a good diet because you're in-game character.
Really?
I'm joking. This is hypothetical.
Well, what about Pokemon Big Brother? I know they got that one.
Oh, oof.
So,
Pokemon Sleep. Well, one last thing about it. Nintendo's really crazy about the quality of their ideas.
Yeah.
You could never blame them for being creative, but they've always been hit and miss because they're so creative. Things like Labo never caught on. The tablet for the Wii U never caught on. Amiibos never saw their full potential.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff never caught on. But then they're also the company that made the Wii a smash hit success with motion controls, when motion controls are always a joke, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's
So-
true, but they made it work. You're right.
It's just their business model. I think people just expect that from them. I think they expect to be kind of scratching their head when things are announced, but
Yeah.
there's this sense of they've had such a good track record that you're just like, I'm going to trust you on this, you know? So I think that's why people don't get too crazy worried when they make crazy announcements, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, it worked last time. It didn't work the time before that, but it did the time before that time before that. But yeah, we'll check on that. There's a bunch of Pokemon peripheral action
Right on.
going on, and it's going to be a big year for Pokemon because the new games look fantastic.
Yes. Yes, they do. I actually may end up playing a couple of the games. They do look that good.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get yourself a Switch because it's gonna be on Switch, and you'll
I'm
be able to
working
play
on that
all
right
Nintendo
now.
stuff. Yeah,
I'm working on that right
It's
now. I
already
want
in
to
your
do some
cart?
throwback games. Yeah, it's something that I'm working on. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm about to click the order now button.
Well, hey, I got some information for you right now about some games. Something about Blizzard. Blizzard, I've been playing Blizzard games since 2004. It's not a big secret that I'm a huge fan of WoW. I love World of Warcraft, always have. I'm a Blizzard fanboy. You can call me that. Played a little Hearthstone, played a little Heroes of the Storm, and played some Starcraft. And Blizzard was working on a Starcraft shooter game, and I'm telling you right now, if this game would have come out, it would have been absolutely awesome. A shooter game set in the StarCraft world would have been absolutely incredible, especially coming from Blizzard. You know, it would have been just all about the story and being so deep, and it just would have been very, very cool. However, they've decided to go ahead and cancel that. And they're working on Diablo 4, which is an absolute for sure. And a rumor is Overwatch 2. And so the rumor is that they're going to focus on those two games. They're going to not worry about StarCraft shooter game, which boo, hiss. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, but you have to remember they canceled a game to make Overwatch. So
yeah,
I
but
kind
if
of
it was,
trust Blizzard with their decisions.
but you may not after I tell you this. The reason why they've shelved StarCraft because the game was described as being like Battlefield in the StarCraft universe. Dude, I just peed a little when I said that because that just is awesome. It would have been awesome. But they've shelved that in favor of shifting resources to higher priority projects such as Diablo 4, which I understand Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. But they want to push them out as quickly as possible, and that puts a chill up my spine because it makes me think that they're going to come out with an unfinished game and that it's going to be nothing but crap. They're going to have nothing but issues and bugs and updates and blah, 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 and that's just not going to be good for the Overwatch series or for Diablo. I'm a fan of Diablo. I've actually played Diablo, and I would play Diablo 4, but I just don't want to see something come out too fast. I would have preferred that they took their time with Diablo 4, took their time with Overwatch 2, because Overwatch is still a pretty irrelevant game. And
Okay,
maybe
well, I'm going to change your mind on
worked
all
on
of
that.
this.
We'll see, man, because I'm telling you right now, I'm clenching.
You don't believe me?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm going to change your mind on every point you've made. First of all, Diablo 4 and Overwatch sequel or DLC, whatever it's going to be, they were already being worked on. And they're just shifting more resources to those titles because, number one, Overwatch is way past due a content quality increase, and it's been showing over the last year and a half that it doesn't feel like as many people are working on the game as should be working on it, you know, with its fan base. You get that?
Yeah.
Number 2, Diablo 4 has been we've been waiting on that for forever. Fans of the Diablo series keep wanting a 4, and they keep hearing about Diablo 3 ported to a new console. And I end by saying that because Blizzard over the last 10 years has realized that consoles are where you make the money.
Oh yeah.
And they used to not be on consoles.
No, PC used to
And
be
now
the
since
thing.
Overwatch and Diablo probably make them most of their money besides, World of Warcraft monthly subscriptions, they know that they need to be on console. So I'm going to say that whatever this Starcraft game is that they were working on, it was probably slated to release at the end of this console generation, and it would have been irrelevant immediately. Meaning they are probably looking at where the console generation is about to drop, knowing that they don't need a game that looks irrelevant within 6 months.
Well,
and they need to focus on games that are more stylized and are reportable.
But how would a StarCraft shooter, which they can completely stylize, I mean, it could have been a whole new series for them as a shooter starting out on console.
Right. And I like that idea a lot. But when you say Battlefield in the StarCraft universe, I see such high rendered graphics that I see something that we would look back and see it as a dated. I don't see it stylized. I'd hope it was stylized, but I'm
you got to
seeing
remember,
hyper realistic space stuff.
Well, you would have to. If you look at some of the cutscenes from the StarCraft universe, you could probably find all of those on YouTube. I think it would change your mind. And the reason why is because it's not highly stylized. It's the monsters that, well, myself and other StarCraft players are used to seeing.
I've watched some of the cutscenes.
Yeah, and I, to go after the Zergs and to be a space marine, as a first person shooter, and I just think that it would be. I think that there's a place for it right now.
It's sad that they're canning a StarCraft sequel. Anything in the StarCraft universe would be amazing because it is long overdue. Because I was
way
saying
overdue, man. Way overdue.
I was saying that Diablo is way overdue, but
Diablo's way overdue too. Yes, I will admit that.
What was the last StarCraft game? What year did StarCraft 2 come out?
2007, I want to say.
What year did this game come out? 2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Good
okay.
Lord. So yeah, it's about to hit.
And back in 2002,
years.
they were going to do a console spinoff called Ghost, but that was killed too. Because they wanted to go back to work on World of Warcraft. So, now I'm sitting here going, well, shit. Okay, so that one I can let go, but this one I can't. No, damn it, I can't. I can't let it go. I want my StarCraft FPS.
I guess that's the problem with StarCraft. I guess the problem is it's the fourth kid. Overwatch has overtaken it.
Yeah. And World of Warcraft is always going to be the favorite because it's the youngest. Yeah. Or the oldest, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the problem with StarCraft is it is the one that if they had to choose one to forget about, they would do that. Yeah,
that's true.
Well, I just hope that it's not canned forever. I hope that they actually go through with it because they need another console shooter.
I think they will. I think that it'll be maybe another year or two. It'll be a year or two after Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 comes out that they'll announce that they're going to be doing it. I bet you anything that's what happens.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that this information leaked right before E3, and Blizzard doesn't usually announce anything until their BlizzCon. So that's what doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have announced any of this next week anyway. So I don't know why it's dropping think that this week.
I know that they're going to be at E3, but I think that there's kind of an issue with it because they were talking about they're not going to be at any of the other they're going to be at BlizzCon, but they're not going to be at Comic-Con or GameCon or any of those other things. They're just going to be doing their own thing.
Yeah, Sony's doing that too.
Because
So
they're gonna announce both of these games 100% on November 1st at BlizzCon. So they're going to be talking about this there more, but I don't think that they're going to be talking about too much at E3. I think they're going to be mostly, if they're even going. I thought there was something. I can't find it right now, but I thought there was something going on about where they're not even going to be at a couple of the gaming conventions.
sounds about right.
Where is
if they
E3
don't
going to
wanna-
be this year? It's
I
not
don't
in
know.
Europe, is it?
We didn't get an invite.
It's not in Europe, is it?
I don't know.
Okay, because if it was there, the only reason why I say is because they wouldn't be. They said that they're not going to be going to one of the major conventions, and they're not going to be doing any announcements. So, which I don't know if that's really a smart move for them, but either way, yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about what to expect from Overwatch 2, even
Well,
though
there-
you're all depressed about StarCraft.
Well, unfortunately, they don't have any leaks about Overwatch 2. All they're talking about is that it's in development. There's no new heroes that they're talking about, no new skins, nothing like that. Although that there's probably going to be a good number of heroes that comes out for the new Overwatch. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a story behind it. Maybe some of the old heroes will die. Maybe something will happen. I don't know. But it should be interesting.
Yes,
I'm sure that.
Every hero with stun randomly dies.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. Tracer
No,
and
no.
Reaper are caught in a horrible car crash. No, I can't say that.
Jesus.
But there is information about Diablo 4, though. I haven't found anything yet on Overwatch, but I am going to be checking it probably every other day to see what's in
Okay,
the
let's
news.
start with what you know about Diablo 4. What's the
Okay.
What do we know about that?
Well, it's been 7 years, like we were just saying, since Diablo 3 was released. So, yeah, it's been a while. It's been inevitable that they have to, do something. Everybody's talking about Diablo Immortal that came out during BlizzCon 2018. The announcement did. So that they
That
can...
had a seriously negative reaction.
Yeah, because it's completely mobile. It's a mobile game, and it really, oh man, I still remember seeing the YouTube video of everybody booing in the crowd. It was it was pretty bad. But Diablo 4 is coming out. It's going to be the same kind of role-playing dungeon crawling series. There's no release date yet because
You know what they should have done?
it still hasn't been officially revealed, but it's going to be at least a couple of years away. Now, here's what I found out though. Also, because this actually has to do with it. Blizzard will not be at Gamescom this year, which is a big deal because I think what they're doing is they are focusing on the development of the two new games that we just talked about, Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, and they don't really have anything to announce. So they're not going to go and, get a booth and do all this other stuff. They're just going to put the money towards their projects of the current games and the future projects, etc. But they're not going to be going to Gamescom, which is kind of a big deal for the gaming world,
Well, hopefully they bounce back from the 2018 they had. But
Yeah.
what they should have done was they should have announced that they canceled StarCraft 2. Not StarCraft 2. They should have announced that they canceled the next StarCraft game right after everyone booed and said that they were pushing everyone over to Diablo 4 and been like, "Are you happy?"
No, they would have had chairs thrown at them and well, I don't know.
No, I mean after the event, like after they were booed, and then like the week after BlizzCon, they were just like, just wanting to let everyone know that we had a great StarCraft game in development, but we're shifting all of our resources to Diablo 4 in light of recent events.
Yeah.
It would have made everyone feel like shit.
Well, see, part of the problem too that I think why they had such a shitty 2018, was because of the announcement of Diablo Immortal going on to nothing but mobile. it didn't seem right or fair because it had been so freaking long since Diablo was released. But it's they also had stuff that came out, press releases and whatnot, kind of hinting that something was going to happen, and there was an announcement and blah 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 blah. But yeah, they didn't come through, and I think that pissed a lot of people off. So a lot of people from, like I'm saying, I keep going into the forums at Blizzard.com and PC Magazine, Tech Radar, all these different places, checking them out, and people are saying pretty much the same thing, that they're hearing about Diablo 4, but they're going to believe it when they see it. They're still pissed off about Diablo Immortal, and they, if Blizzard comes through and shows them something really cool with a great trailer, I think that they're going to win a lot of fans back, and they're going to have a really positive fiscal year for 2020.
Yeah,
or whatever year it comes
as long
out.
As long as they're looking ahead, they have to release something big in 2020, because we know we're not getting anything this year. I'd be very surprised if we got something this year, but they have to release something in 2020, because then it'll be 2 full years without a real game,
Yeah.
Which isn't surprising to old Blizzard, I have to say, but to someone who just recently got into Blizzard games, that feels like a long time.
Yeah, it's a very long time, man. And because somebody who played World of Warcraft a lot, look at how many expansions we've had with World of Warcraft over the last 15 years.
Did we just get 2 in the last 2 years?
Yeah. That's because the first one was horrible, but this new one that they have, Battle for Azeroth, I'm actually quite impressed. I'm very happy with what they've done to my characters, and the other ones that were beat all to hell. So they've done some good, but Blizzard has been putting out job postings that have been hinting towards the Diablo 4 title, and one of them, because I'm actually going to read this to you, because one of the magazines that I read actually reported this. They were looking for a skilled dungeon artist with a focus on composition, detail, and mood, while ensuring that the gameplay space is readable. And as well as a technical artist who could help the environment and basically bring life to the world of Sanctuary. So, yeah, they're coming out with a Diablo 4.
Because they're very specific.
I know, huh? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's coming, man.
It's not your standard Subway job application there.
And but they said that there's also multiple parts to Diablo 4, which could possibly include Diablo Hades and or Diablo Fenris. There's a report on that. Like Diablo Hades would be kind of like Diablo as Dark Souls, and Diablo Fenris would kind of be like Diablo 2's Darkness. So that's what they're talking about as far as the different gameplay styles that it could be. The Diablo Dark Souls style would be in the third-person view, of course, but you would be behind it, and the Diablo Fenris would be the basic Diablo gameplay that we've all kind of done. So it's difficult to know what they're going to do. I think that they're going to listen to the fans, to be honest with you on this. I think that they're going to get a lot of feedback, and that they are going to give everybody what they want. I think Blizzard is another one of the gaming companies that's learned its lesson. And, with some of the new coders and gaming industry people that are making these things for us, some of the younger generation that's going in there, I think that they understand that people want some really good stuff. They don't want the crap. They want give us the story back. Give us the actual Sanctuary back. Give us the good gameplay back. I think that they're going to come out with something good.
Sounds good. I really enjoyed Diablo 3, so I'm excited for whatever's coming next.
So did I. I'm excited about it.
It's funny you say that they posted jobs for something that sounds like Diablo 4.
Yes.
So maybe the Diablo game they were working on was the Dark Souls-like game?
I'm thinking that it could be that, and then they went over to the Fenris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's actually more interesting. It's like maybe just now they're starting to work on Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody was like, maybe we shouldn't do 2 games in the Diablo series that are not in the main line
Yes. Yeah.
in a row.
Yeah.
But anyway, on Overwatch 2, since we're in complete speculation right now, what do you think that product will be? Because I can tell you what I would think it would be.
Man, I don't know, bud. I'm hoping that it would be, if it was me and I was going to do a new game. Man.
Well, let me tell you what I think it would be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a $40 to $60 DLC that's going to come with 10 new heroes, because we already know they're working on more heroes than they've ever worked on before. They've told us that before, that they're working on the most heroes they've ever worked on. So let's say this is a DLC with 10 new heroes that are all premium. The rest of the game will go free to play. So it's going to be like Paladins, just like in the sense that you can use X amount of heroes. But if you do the paywall, you can play these new heroes. So the DLC will be paid. The original game will be free with loot boxes that will make them money. The DLC will come with 10 new heroes and like maybe 10 new maps or something crazy. That'd be asking a lot. That's a lot of maps. But if it's going to be $60, 10 maps. If it's $40, 5 maps, whatever. And a really immersive story mode, because they've been asking for a story mode for so long.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that makes sense to me. They cannot destroy the original game. If they destroy the importance of the original game, that is idiotic, because so many people are crazy about their stats in that game. It would have to be like Warcraft in the sense of it's just constantly has updates and expansions.
Yeah.
I think Blizzard's smart enough not to just make the old game irrelevant. And I've heard a lot of people talking about Overwatch 2, and they're acting like it is going to be a straight sequel and you're not going to know anything about the original. And
I don't think that at all.
I think it's because that original rumor started with the line that it's going to be like Left 4 Dead. Well, that's just PvE. So it's going to have a lot of PvE modes.
I honestly think that's where it's going to be leaning towards. I think that the story is going to happen. It's going to have a big story at the beginning of it. There's going to be some PvP elements, but I don't think it's going to be as heavy as the original Overwatch. I think this is going to be more of a PvE environment, a team-based kind of thing, like what you just said, Left 4 Dead. I heard rumors that it was going to be similar to that also, but what I think is going to happen is it's going to have a hugely developed story from the archives and all that stuff, where something happens with all these heroes. Because you remember when you're originally playing Overwatch, that speech from Winston, where he's saying, hey, they basically chased us off. They turned us into criminals, even though we were trying to help them. And this is what's happened. So I think something along those lines is coming. And it's going to cause the heroes to either fight amongst each other or to separate or something. And it's going to involve something like that. And then you're going to be brought into this world, this PvE world that's an Overwatch-based world. And I think there's going to have to be some team play, but it's going to be high PvE, a little bit of PvP.
Some people are even talking about they're wondering if it's going to add the MMO elements that were in the original version of the game when it was Titan, you know?
That's a good point. That is a good point.
So it could really be anything, but I think the thing that makes most sense for a game that is this heavily influenced by console game sales, it would have to be like a DLC. That makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you have to look at it...
Where you could jump from one to the other?
Right, because I've always compared it to Fortnite as far as revenue and popularity.
Yeah.
Fortnite, when you boot it up, you choose Save the World, Creative Mode, or Battle Royale.
Exactly.
So Overwatch will be, here's the free mode. Oh, do you want to play the story mode? Well, you're going to have to pay for this expansion.
Yeah.
Also, this expansion gives you 10 new heroes, you know? I guess it would have to be heroes. It doesn't make sense to pay for maps, because then it would have to choose which maps you load it out to.
Yeah.
I say that, but Battlefield 1 did that. If you
You
don't
know,
have the expansions, you can't load into some of the maps.
that is true. Yeah. If you don't have it. Yeah. But it would make more sense for them to make it, like you said, a DLC, and then perhaps even go the free to play route. And, you know, use the, hey, you know, you can buy these chests or you can buy these skins or whatever, because a lot of these companies make all their money off of that right now anyway. You know, it just, maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe it's going to be a downloaded content that you can pay for, and that the whole game will go free to play.
Yeah, and they've talked about really big things happening to Overwatch this year.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
every Archives event has been about stuff that happens before the Overwatch team gets shut down.
That's why I think there's a story behind that. I think,
yeah, it's all setting up for a big thing.
yes.
You know?
Like all the enemies that we've been fighting, you know, the assassins and then the big bosses and all these guys, I think that something's going to happen, man. And there's going to be a big battle, and it's going to push us into this, and then we're going to go into a PvE environment. But like you said, I think it's going to be some DLC, and it might bring it to a free to play area. You know, a lot of those games are going to be going that way anyway. But yeah, I mean, it should be interesting whatever happens. But I hope they do it right. You know, just please don't rush it. Don't rush it, man. Do it right. Make it, you know, cream of the crop, and then put it out. Because, you know, a lot of people love Overwatch, and they don't want to see it completely ruined. But if you can make it a little bit more like Fortnite, where you can jump back and forth between the two, I think that would be the best.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited about that. There's one more thing I was going to talk about before some bigger stories.
Yeah, man.
The PlayStation Days of Play sale has already started. There's a bunch of deals that they always have. There's $60 controllers or $40 at retailers like Walmart and Target and Best Buy. There's exclusive consoles. Bundles of VRs are on sale. But I was going to talk about a few of the games that are digitally on insanely good sales. And if you have the cash, you need to pick them up right now. Overwatch is $20 right now.
Whoa.
On Days of Play. God of War, the new one, is $20. Normally
damn.
$60. The new Spider-Man is $20, the one from last year. Last of Us Remastered is $10.
Oh, wow.
All of the Uncharted's are $10. The collection, Uncharted 4 and what was it called? Lost Legacy, I forget. And Detroit Become Human is $7.99.
Oh, wow.
Which I really want to play that game, so I'm probably going to grab that one.
Just the title makes me want to go see what it's about.
Detroit Become Human looks great because I love the other two games that company made. They made Beyond Two Souls, and they made Heavy Rain. And those two games are some of my favorite PlayStation titles. So I've heard great things about Detroit Become Human, so I'm really excited to play it. But yeah, those are some really great games that y'all can pick up for like $10, $20.
Hell yeah.
Check them out. What else is there this week? I'll let you talk about Game Pass in just a second.
Yeah, man.
I want to talk about this Stadia stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you were tuning in on YouTube a few days ago, Stadia did a big announcement where luckily it was just a few days after their servers went down. But Stadia did a really big announcement talking about the service that they were going to be launching. I believe it launches in November. Yeah, it's in November. And Stadia is going to be... If you don't know what Stadia is, let's assume someone doesn't know what Stadia is. Stadia is a cloud-based gaming service where all of your games are pre-installed on a system somewhere else, and it plays off of there, and then you just stream it. So you don't need a big console, you don't need a big computer. All you need is an internet connection, and you can play whatever you want instantly with little to no loading time. Like sounds great on paper.
Yeah.
So the pricing which they hadn't mentioned before. And I've heard everyone that has reviewed this announcement had the same thought process that I had when they announced it. They acted like they didn't know how to announce a product. They announced it and said that it's $10 a month, $9.99 for Stadia Pro. And that comes with 4K resolution, HDR, 5.1 surround sound at 60 frames per second.
Okay.
What they should have done is they should have said what the free part was first and then tell you what is premium. Yes. I don't know why they didn't do this. It took them like 15 minutes to get to what the free version was. Oh. There is surprisingly...
You should lead with that every time.
You should lead with the free version because everyone's just like...
And with the money version.
Turning the video
lead
off.
with the... Well, money should be in the middle, but lead with the free, man.
Right.
Anyway.
So surprisingly, there is a free version, which is not going to be available till next year. So if you're going to be playing it in November, you have to pay $10 a month. But there will be a free version next year, which only allows 1080p, stereo, not 5.1, and still 60 frames per second.
Oh my God.
So for most people, the free version is fine.
Yeah.
Right. Gosh, I had these up. I don't have these anymore. What was surprising was they said what you needed to stream at these qualities. They claimed you only need 35 megabits per second to do the 4K, which is insanely low. I hardly believe that. They don't say what the upload is. They just say the download. They say your download needs to be 35.
So I wouldn't be able to do it at all.
For the free version, you only need 20.
Oh my God, I wouldn't be able to even do the free version.
Really?
Dude, yeah, I'm out in the sticks, bro. I got two internets, man. One for playing, one for streaming.
Well, they're surprisingly low to me. I feel like they're really low stats.
Yeah, that is kind of low.
I'm surprised it can run off of that. But you're still streaming it.
Yeah.
They didn't mention response time in the announcement, which is what everyone was thinking when they even demoed Mortal Kombat during the presentation, which everyone's just like, how in the world can the response time be accurate on two people streaming a game, you know? They also ignored data caps. So they didn't mention it in the video, but if you are only streaming games, it's going to run your data up like crazy if you don't have unlimited data on your plan.
Exactly.
Some people have asked them in interviews and other places, like, what's their plan for companies that have data caps? And they basically said that they're Google and that those companies will change their policies to accommodate them. Which is possible. They do have that power, but that's not a fast solution. That's not a solution that would like be overnight. Maybe in like a year.
If they're lucky.
But yeah, they were just acting like it wasn't an issue and that the world would adapt to them. But
wow.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try it when it comes out just to like see what it's all about. I'm not too crazy about it. But currently the only way you can get on board right now is the whole reason they did the announcement was to push this Founders Edition. Did you see the Founders Edition?
I saw that, yeah, the price.
Yeah, the price. It's $129. Let me look up a price of something real quick. It's $129, which sounds like a lot. But it comes with a $70 controller. It comes with the car. It comes with a $70 controller, which already is really high.
What kind of controller?
That's what they priced first.
What kind of controller?
It's just a wireless controller. Currently,
so it could
Xbox
be like
controller
a great
is
value
$60.
Controller?
I guess. An Xbox controller is You're fine. An Xbox controller is $60. A PS4 controller is $60. A Nintendo Switch Pro controller is 70, sometimes 60.
Yeah.
So it's acting like it's at the top of premiumness. So they're saying it's going to be $70 for the
Wow.
Stadia controller. Now there is one difference with the controller. The controller does connect Wi-Fi. So I mean, maybe that's a way of saying it's more premium, because the Stadia controller never connects to a device. It connects directly to your Wi-Fi. That way you can move between different televisions and
Okay.
screens. So that is a cool thing about it, but still $70 for a controller that's basically a smooth version of the PS4 controller is
So wait a minute.
steep.
You could pause while you're in the living room, walk into your bedroom, and turn it on there
Yes.
and unpause it. Ain't that some shit?
Yes, sir.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you can do with it. So
Wow.
it's $130 for the Founders Pack. It comes with a $70 controller. So that leaves us $60. The other $60 is going to the Chromecast Ultra it comes with, which is $60. You still has 50, usually about 60 though. So you're about paying the price of what you would for them separately. And then it comes with 3 months of the Stadia Pro, which is a $30 value. And then it comes with 3 months to give to a friend, which is a $30 value. And what else does it come with? Oh, it comes with Destiny 2, the complete collection, because they also announced that Destiny 2 is going to be on Stadia.
And yeah, free to play.
Well, not yet. They didn't announce that there. So essentially, the tagline was you get $300 worth of stuff for $130.
Well, that's not.
But if I do my math, it's. But if I do my math, it's $130 of hard equipment plus $60 of months of the pass for the Stadia. So it's like $190. So it's saying that the complete Destiny 2 collection, I guess they're doing full price of every DLC separately.
Probably full retail price.
They're claiming that the Destiny 2 collection is worth $110.
Man.
But besides that, it's $130 for all that.
Damn. That's crazy.
I don't know. They should have given people a discount on it, in my opinion. Destiny 2 should have been the draw. It should have been, this is free. So it is still free at $130, essentially.
Yeah.
Giving you free months of their Stadia Pro subscription should also be given. That's not a deal. If you are willing to give them money 5 months or 3-4 months in advance before it launches, they should give you something. So that should also be free. That's expected.
Yep, I agree.
And then basically they're selling you the hardware at list price. So I don't know. It should have been cheaper because they're trying to market the Stadia as this tagline of you don't need a console. But the thing is, it's $20 away from the price of an Xbox One at Christmas.
Yeah.
You can get a One S for $150 if you look at the right place around Black Friday.
That's true.
So if they're marketing that in November you will get this new brand spanking new system that is not a console, but they're giving you 2 pieces of hardware for almost the price of a console, then they need to rethink their marketing team.
Yeah. They really do, especially the order in which they do things.
Yes, it was just a really bad video. They probably have tons of Chromecast Ultras just sitting around in a warehouse.
They probably do.
They should be giving those out for free. You should be paying basically the price of the controller for $70 because that's given. It's a new piece of hardware. No one has one. You pre-order the controller, and then you probably pay 2 months of the service. So it should be about $90 to $100, and that would sound fine. But $130, you can just tell that you're paying the list price. At
Yeah.
130, it just feels like you're paying for what you're getting. You don't feel like it's a deal.
Yeah.
And they keep phrasing it as it's the Founders Edition. It's
You're not getting a
you
deal,
get your
is what
own
it is.
Yeah, they're saying you get your founder's name, so your name on their service will say that you were there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Once you're selling someone bragging rights, they actually say that in the video. They say, and you get exclusive bragging rights. If they're selling bragging rights, it's already saying that they're not giving you a deal. It's like telling you, yeah, you can buy this thing at list price, but you got it first, bragging rights.
Yep.
You know? And then they had the nerve to say that it's limited quantity. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to have to like think of a payment plan.
I hear you.
But no, it's not bad. I like it. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool, but the thing is, I am still more invested in what Microsoft's working on, even though it hasn't really been hinted at. There's rumors that it's going to be at E3, so we may hear about it tomorrow. Or if you're listening to this on Sunday, you may be hearing about it before you even listen to this.
That's true.
But yeah, there's rumors that they're going to be talking about the streaming service for Microsoft, the cloud, xCloud. So we may be hearing about it tomorrow. But Stadia is launching in November, so I wonder if we're going to get a date on xCloud tomorrow.
Probably will. I think they're gonna. Yeah, Microsoft and Sony are gonna be doing some big announcements at E3. I think we're gonna get. There's gonna be a little bit of excitement and shock coming.
Yeah, because Microsoft needs to tell me where to put my money before I throw my money at Google.
Exactly.
Like seriously.
Exactly.
I've been sitting 2 days on money that Google's asked me to give them.
I'm waving a stack of
Microsoft
20s
needs
in
to
front of
tell
your
me.
face, Microsoft.
They need to tell me where I need to put it. Like
Let's
now.
do this. Take my money now.
Okay, so we're speaking of Microsoft.
Speaking of Microsoft taking my money, they're going to be taking a lot of my money because Xbox Game Pass is coming to PC. It's going to be so much fun, dude. Hundreds of titles for a monthly fee that you pay, just like you pay on Game Pass on Xbox.
Nice.
And you get to download all of those games onto your PC and play them.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, and wait, how much is it a month?
Let's see. They are announcing it at E3. They're actually announcing it on June 9th at 1 p.m. So I believe Pacific time. So I believe they're going to announce the price then. They have not given out the price. I'm looking directly. I read directly from Xbox Wire on Microsoft, and I went there and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to read any of the, the whatever. I want to hear it directly from the horse's mouth. And yeah, man, it's going to be really, really cool. And they're also going to be giving discounts in the Microsoft Store on Windows for up to 20% on games that are currently in the library and 10% off of related downloaded content and add-ons. So. Yeah, man. I mean, I want to hear what's going to happen at the at E3. Of course, I want to hear the announcement. Unfortunately, I will be working when that is happening. But yeah, dude, it's a good freaking thing. It is a good thing. It's going to be so awesome. I mean, hundreds of games that I've wanted to play. Probably not all hundreds of them, but you know what I mean. And several games that I've wanted to play.
From Game Pass that's on Xbox, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
80% of them are really good games. I mean, they're all playable. None of them are complete trash. Every now and then there's one that you're just like, how did this get in here?
One of the names on there is Bethesda, so that is what it is. But you've got Deep Silver, Devolver Digital, Paradox Interactive, Sega. I mean, dude, we're talking...
Bethesda isn't that bad when it's free.
Yes, when it's free.
People are only ever upset about spending too much money on it.
And they're going to have new games added
like
every month, man.
Basically free.
New games every month.
You know what you can guarantee, though? You don't know the price of it. It probably is $10 a month.
It's probably
but we
about
don't know the
$10 a
price.
Yeah.
You can guarantee that they're going to do automatic withdrawals, though. So that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Oh, yeah. And
Once you
down
put your
with
credit
that.
card information in, it's going to take it every month.
Yes.
So it's going to be so easy. You don't have to worry about it. Your games will always be available as long as your bank account is. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And it's gonna be. It's just really gonna be cool, man. It's really gonna be cool. There.
I really wish you would have laughed at that. Now I have to insert a laugh. Damn it, Mike.
Here. Hold on. Here's your laugh. Use that one.
Okay. I'm going to hear it like 20 times through this episode. And people are going to be like, oh, damn it. There's where it was created.
Yep.
About 90 minutes in.
Yeah, they're tomorrow they are going to announce a whole bunch of new games that they're offering with that, with the PC players. So, yeah, man, I'm this I am absolutely, 100% excited for and 100% behind. I think it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Monthly fees are going to be part of this whole digital and streaming revolution in gaming. You're not going to be a lot of companies, you're not going to be buying games anymore. You're just going to be buying a Game Pass. So you're going to be paying $15, $10, $15, $20 a month, and you're going to be playing hundreds of games, whatever you want to play. If you don't feel like playing that one, you go play another one. Or if one ends up being crap, at least you didn't buy it. You know what I mean? But I think that's where it's coming.
See, a lot of people are complaining about the price of Stadia. And to me, it didn't seem very expensive. $10 a month for the pro version gave you 4K and all that stuff.
That's reasonable.
And it also said that it didn't say you monthly get free games, like games with gold for Xbox.
Yeah.
But it says that you are given free games. So maybe once every 2 months. But if it gives you games every month that are free, then it's basically the same price as Xbox Gold.
Yeah.
And I think people can get behind that. So that's basically what Microsoft's going to have to do when they introduce their service.
Yep.
But I'm really hoping Microsoft bundles it. I really hope that you can get Game Pass, Gold, and xCloud all for like at least one price.
I could see that, like, if you did the separate for $10 a month or $9.99 a month, and then did a bundled pass for like $24.99.
Yeah, they could just call it the shareholders package.
Yeah, and then you save like $5 a month,
Right.
But I'd pay $25 a month for all that, especially if it connected to your game, your Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the account was crossed. Yes.
Especially me, because I'm already probably paying $15 a month for everything.
Yeah, same here. Sorry, honey.
But
sorry you had to hear that, babe.
Oof.
You can edit that out. But yeah, that's really all I have on that.
I'll just throw that laugh in over it.
Yeah, that's really all I have on that. I mean, I'm just waiting to hear what's going to happen, what it's going to be about. We just got to wait till tomorrow, man. E3.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Next week's episode is going to be a lot of recapping. It's probably going to be stuff that you already heard about.
Oh, yeah.
So we're probably going to try to make our show next week be stuff that is not covered as much. Maybe the stuff that you could have missed, because there's going to be a bunch of stuff where we'll just say, oh, yeah,
yes,
there was this big thing, but you probably heard about it.
The tasty little crumbs that fell on the floor.
Yeah, we need to probably try to cover the stuff that was probably overlooked,
Yes.
The shorter children in the group photo, basically.
Wow, dude. That's...
Anyway.
You can't say that.
You can't say what? Short children?
They're little people.
Short stacks. That's it. Destiny 2 is the last thing I had to talk about.
Tiny gamers. Yes, Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 is the last thing I had to talk about. I'm not sure if you have anything else.
I'm good to go, buddy.
Okay, so let's wrap it up with Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has been announced that it's going free to play, at least the base version of the game.
Very cool.
To be honest, I kind of thought it already was there. I forgot that it had a trial system set in place.
Yeah.
But it's going to be free to play on September 17th is when that happens. The complete version will be included with Stadia Pro. I already mentioned that. They've also announced that it's going to have complete crossplay. So
Beautiful.
another big person that got PlayStation to agree. So
Yep.
PlayStation has agreed to allow Destiny 2 to be complete crossplay, which is awesome. That's great. There's a bunch of people I know that changed consoles from PS4 to Xbox or Xbox to PS4, and they lost all of their characters' progression. Guardian, that's the word. Their Guardian's progression. And what this will do is it allows you to actually take that old save file and all your progression, you can use it anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Because
Bungie's doing a lot of really good stuff for this game, you know?
well, they're leaving BattleNet, right?
Yeah, they're leaving BattleNet, so it's going to be on Steam. And they also kind of middle fingered Epic Games when they went to Steam. They put out an announcement that said something like, we needed an Epic partner. So they went with Steam.
Oh my God.
They couldn't just say they were leaving BattleNet, but they also had a shit on Epic on the way, but whatever.
Yeah, they're going to have file transfers available because I number one, I have an account on BattleNet with Destiny 2. I don't play
Right.
it, but it would be nice to know that I could go download it on Steam. I could transfer the files over, and I would be right where I was. Because to be quite honest with you, if I did go back to Destiny 2,
Destiny's
I
a
would
fun
not want
game.
to start
It's
over
a really,
anymore.
it's a
I
really
had
fun shooter.
I had more fun with it on PC than I did on Xbox. I will admit that. I think I was a little more accurate on PC, but I noticed that I was having more fun playing on PC than I did on Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would probably like Destiny 2 more if its multiplayer function was more of a capture slash payload type thing like Overwatch.
Yes,
But instead
yes, that would be
it's
fun.
usually just a death match,
Yeah, it's basically
which
what
gets
it is.
old after a while. There's
really
no
does.
variation. So
Yeah, because all I usually do is die. So
yeah,
Dying
you
gets
get
old.
tired of dying.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you get old, you do die. There's that too.
Mortality.
Is that it on Destiny 2? Oh, no. The real thing about Destiny 2 is this is a game that most people probably thought has just been pushed to the wayside. But Bungie is showing that they still care about this product.
Yes.
They're putting a bunch of news out about it.
Yes.
Because when I first heard that it was being added to Stadia, I was like, wow, really? You're going to try to flex that old of a game on your brand new service? I thought it was a really odd choice. But Bungie is coming out with so much positive energy about Destiny 2 that it actually does make a little sense. I still don't think that Stadia should have picked Destiny 2 as their flagship announcement,
Uh-huh.
but it's a little bit better because Bungie is showing that they still care about this game and they still care about the community behind it,
Yeah.
and that they're putting all that they can into it to make it, you know, a better game for everyone. And they're doing that thing that I was talking about with Overwatch. Now, Overwatch also needs to go crossplay. I don't know why it's not yet. But they're doing that thing that I was talking about with Overwatch where they're making the base version free and you can buy the expansions if you get hooked. That's just it, you know?
Yep.
It allows for a bigger player base. They're also adding a bigger player base by allowing it to be crossplay. Because to be honest, there's a lot of people that probably stopped playing because all their friends are on a different console.
Exactly.
You know?
That was one of the things we ran into with a couple of the people that we play with, like Dark Gunner.
Yeah.
He plays more on PS4 than he does on Xbox. So it would be nice to be able to do that. Yeah, you know?
Yeah, crossplay is amazing for that.
Yes,
But the thing
absolutely.
is, it's not just about allowing people to play with their friends. I guess people are finally waking up. It's not just about people playing with their friends and you're not forcing them to make new friends. It's about the fact that if they can play with their friends, they're more likely to play your game.
Yes.
And because of that, you will have a bigger player base.
Exactly.
It's like they just figured that out.
And why was it just now? I mean, this is something that we've been talking about as gamers for years.
Yeah, it's just basically this generation, Sony's had to get off their high horse.
Yeah.
Because Sony's been the biggest person pushing back on it. And basically the closing of this generation of consoles is ending with PlayStation being friendlier and being more about the gamer. taking
they
a few pieces of advice from other companies, you know?
yeah, exactly. They don't have a choice, man. I mean, this is the future of gaming. These gaming companies don't have a choice but to do what the consumer wants. And every gamer I know, every gamer that I talk to, they don't give a crap if you play on Xbox or PlayStation 4 or PC. They just want to be able to play together. That's all they want. And like you said, it creates that bigger fan base. You want millions and millions of people, include everybody.
Right.
That's the only way it's going to happen. You want, more of a multiplayer kind of thing where people are actually playing with their friends, then include everybody with crossplay. Then it will happen. And that's exactly what's happening. Look at Dauntless. Dauntless has blown up with the crossplay thing. And now everybody's jumping on that bandwagon. Everybody. I'm telling you right now, before the end of...
Oh, that was another game. I'm sorry. Dauntless was another thing that suffered from Google's servers going down, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Dauntless was having issues with that. But that whole thing is that I would say by summer of 2020, pretty much every major game that's out there is going to be crossplay. Every major game. That's multiplayer. That is multiplayer. It's going to be crossplay. It's going to have to be, like you said, and some of these games have their own, they have their own lobbies and whatnot, and what's nice is, you can be in the same lobby with people if you're from PlayStation, Xbox, or PC and play these fun little, games together. It's about time. It's a long time coming. And I foresee it that by summer of 2020, every game that's multiplayer will be crossplay.
Oh, damn it. I missed something.
Sorry.
There's a whole section of my notes I missed. And this is really important because I want to look back and see if I was wrong in the future. Okay. So these are leaks that just came out yesterday and today. Yeah, they're E3 leaks. So they could be announced tomorrow or they could be totally fake.
Okay.
One of them is real.
We'll end with your E3 leaks.
Yeah. The first one is I think it's called Elden Ring, and it is the official name for that From Software game that was being worked on with George R.R. Martin.
Oh, that's right. I read about that today.
Yeah, so we have an official name for it, supposedly. It could be wrong, but there's like a logo for it, and it's just going to be called Elden Ring. Looks pretty cool.
Yep.
But that's really all we got about it is a name and a logo. Second, I hope this is not fake news. Supposedly they're going to announce that they're remastering Ni no Kuni, the original game.
Oh, wow.
Not the sequel. The sequel came out either a year or 2 years ago, but the first one was on PS3 and was fantastic. If they remaster it, I will totally replay that game. The first one is such a fun, little charming game that its art style is ridiculously good. Right. It's got the Studio Ghibli style animation and cell shading on top of 3D models, and it ages really well for a PlayStation 3 game. So I guess it's very remasterable because of that, but PlayStation has been recently remastering games more than just brushing it up. They've been like totally reanimating things.
Yeah, basically it's the same game. They just redid it to be more modern. Yes.
Sony's been crazy about that. They've always gone over expectations on remasters.
But it works. It works too. It's bringing to light a lot of the old games. It's bringing them to people who never would have thought of playing them.
Now, I didn't put this in my notes for this week, but I do need to mention that since we're talking about an old game being remastered, earlier this week, I think it was maybe Wednesday or Thursday, THQ announced that they were remaking Battle for Bikini Bottom, the SpongeBob game that was on PlayStation 2 and GameCube. And it's a fun game. It's a fun game that I played when I was like 10 or 12 or something. And what's so funny is how ridiculously positive the reaction is to it.
Yeah.
So many people are like, I can't believe they're doing this game. Like, of all games, they're doing a random SpongeBob game.
Why not? Why not? You know, have fun
And the thing
with it.
is, right. And the thing is, when we were talking about how many IPs that they own and like those 80 games they had in development, THQ, it's just like, it's almost the possibilities are endless on what they could choose to remaster or make a sequel to. So
Exactly.
you just start looking at that old THQ library from PlayStation 2 and GameCube and see like what in the world could they revive, you know? So that's pretty cool. Oh, what's also cool about the Battle for Bikini Bottom game remaster is they're actually caring enough about the game to go in and make sections that were cut from the game last minute because there was a time crunch. So they're adding in old ideas for the game.
So they're going to have
that
a
were
little
never
bit
made.
of new stuff to it.
Right, but not just new stuff, is stuff that was originally supposed to be in the game but was cut for time.
Well, it'll be new to us.
Right. Yeah, there's going to be fresh stuff, but you don't have to worry about it being 2019.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still in the classic vein and the original imagination of the people that designed the original game.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
I think it's very cool.
Yeah. Last thing. The actual last thing is there was a leak that
Oh yeah.
Bleeding Edge
Yes.
is going to be announced from Microsoft, and it looks ridiculously fun. It's going to be a 4v4
It looks
multiplayer
amazing.
game. It's from Ninja Theory, who made Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. You know
it
it's
looks
going to
really
be good,
fun.
man. If Devil May Cry people are on it, you know it's going to be nasty. It's
So the thing is, it was kind of rumored, and people are like reacting to it like it looked like an Overwatch based team shooter. And now it does have like ability bases and stuff like that.
Yes.
But its art style reminds me of. It's kind of got the attitude of like Borderlands, but the animation reminds me more of like the smoothness of Fortnite and Overwatch.
I think
but then
it's definitely
also
got the
characters.
smoothness. It's definitely
then
got the
it's
smoothness of
characters
Overwatch.
from like Nintendo.
Yeah.
So like, it looks like a really fun, immature game, is what I was telling Mike earlier.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it looks like a lot of fun. So
A lot of blood and guts.
the leaked video, which is really funny. The video that was recorded on a phone said confidential over the whole thing. So the leaked video says that there's going to be an open beta starting on June 27th. So be on the lookout for that. So there hasn't been an exciting Microsoft title in a long time, basically since Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's a great game, though.
Sea of Thieves has gotten so good over the years.
Yes.
Years. And
there's people still
this
jumping
is a really
on board
exciting game. Yeah, Sea of Thieves. We can talk about. We need to play Sea of Thieves since we're talking about it now. We need to like sit down and go play it sometime.
We should.
And then we can talk about where it's coming a year. That'd be a cool.
But I'm going to definitely jump on this beta if I can for Bleeding Edge.
Yes, Bleeding Edge.
I'm going to try to find out where I can
same.
sign up for it. And I want in on that, man. Because I am willing to download that game and play the holy living shit out of it and send them feedback because it looks that much fun, man.
Yeah, it looks really good. But that's really all we have for this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a exciting roller coaster week. I kept remembering things that I didn't even put in my notes. That's what's so funny about it. But it's probably gonna be the same way next week.
Yeah, we had a lot
next
to
week we're
talk
gonna have
about,
more
man.
than enough to talk about.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. It's gonna
Hopefully
be
we can
nuts.
keep next week under 2 hours. Would be hard because we're really close this week.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to, but that's okay.
Oh well. You get more bang for your buck though.
That's true. You find out more information. This is stuff you need to know, folks. You need to know this. So tune in next week. Do you understand me?
Oh my God. You understand the words I'm talking?
You with the headphones and the pants, listening to the stream.
you, you know the people be taking off their pants listening to us.
That's, oh God, please. Oh God. This is a podcast.
Wait, why do you think they make ASMR?
We're both not, neither one of us are that pretty.
That's why they just listen.
We have a face for radio.
I was always said I have an ass for radio.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. This is the Declassified Cheatcodes podcast. Signing off.
Signing off. Later, guys. Tiny gamers.